I see clearly everything has come to light. Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a VeVe, OMI, DEFFINITY, DEVVE, daCat, SHIRO update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. For not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon, smashing that super thanks button down below, super chats as well. The New York Jets are completely defeated this year. There are some teams that are undefeated. Jets are completely defeated. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna start rooting for the opposition soon. I just saw the Colts game. That was pretty good. The Broncos, oh my God, the Broncos Giants game. That was a heartbreaker that I just saw. Like, oh God, that was insane. Aside from that, I was able to get into my base wallet today. Finally, if you go into your base wallet, it might say like, oh, hey, here's an upgrade. And the upgrade looks really cool. It's like there's a social app on there, and there's games on there, and there's feed and people talking back and forth. It's pretty cool. But when I upgraded, it would let me receive crypto, but it wouldn't let me do anything with it. I couldn't swap it. I couldn't bridge it. I couldn't sell, buy. I couldn't even send it to any other wallet. I was like, bruh. So I uninstalled it, and then I couldn't reinstall it because I eventually reinstalled it. I just put the seed phrase in. Thankfully, I still had that, or else that would have been a very bad day. And now it's fine. I would not suggest upgrading the base app yet because it did not work for me. At least anything having to do with crypto did not work. You could still talk to people. You could still go on the feed and play games if you wish. But I didn't want to do that, so I didn't care. But if you ever do find yourself in that position, just try to go in and uninstall, reinstall. Make sure you have the seed phrase, and you're fine. I had a thank you, Ironman616, for posting the stream. I had a guest on before, Michelle Ivy. So we talked for about 2 hours on the show of just collecting, and she had a couple of wild stories. She got like electrocuted at her job, and she had like workers' comp fights, and then she had this beautiful story with her with a friend of hers. And I was like, oh God, that's why she hasn't been to Comic-Con in a while. So after the show, we talked for like another hour almost, like just back and forth. I go in, I was like, hey, I'm gonna be upside down for a little bit because my back hurts. I'm using this inverter table. And sleep in. I want you to hear this in case you haven't yet. So the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic, and Sleepin will know this probably better than I can explain. Originally, when the two creators had made it, they said like, okay, let's mint 3,000 units, and we'll have them on our shelves forever, and we'll hand them out one by one. But it's our own creation. It's really cool. One of them's working in like a lobster shack factory. Another one's doing something that I forget, and the 3,000 comics like sell out like really quickly. They're like, I was not expecting that. Like neither was I. And they're like, okay, let's do like another mint run here, like a second print, and let's see how that does. And it does really well. It does like 15,000 of them. And then they're like, hey, this is real. Like people are really like, we have to start making a second one. So they quit their jobs, and they and in order to make this comic, they went to borrow I think like $1,000 from like one of their uncles to do it. And they're like, hey, let's start on this we'll start on the second one. We'll do this. They made enough money to pay the uncle back, and the second one did really well. And after I think there was like 30,000 copies of the second one that sold out. And then they do a third print of their first of their first comic, and that's like 30 or 50,000 copies. But what I wanted to focus on is that first 3,000 print run. This girl Michelle Ivy that I interviewed before has 2 of them. One of them she like, and this is where I thought this was growth on my part, and now I'm second guessing myself, because there was a time when I was like 19, 20 years old. Yeah, it was my second apartment. So I was 19, in my second apartment, and I had the original, not the, well, yeah, the OG Pokemon Gold, Pokemon Silver, games, and I remember taking a video of the Pokemon that were there because the internal battery, they'll die at some point, and I wanted to preserve them, and I was like, and this is thought was to myself, I was like, if someone were to offer me $1 million for these games, like these two, like these files that I had put over 1,000 hours into the gold and hundreds of hours into silver, I was like, I would not take it. And I was dirt poor. I was 19. I was working paycheck to paycheck, like struggling to make ends meet because living on your own in New York is insane in general. But then at 19, anyway. So I was like, someone could offer me $1 million for this, and I would not take it, and I would not have. Like at my 19-year-old self at the time, be like, no, these are too important. Like, these little digital files of code, they mean so much to me. It doesn't have a price. And then through life, everything kind of has a price. Most things have a price, and digital code is digital code. Like, and I thought for me that was like, okay, you still play the Pokemon games when you can, and you're able to get over whatever emotional attachments you had to ones and zeros. Which, to be fair, we might all be ones and zeros. So I don't know. And then I talk with Michelle before off camera, and she shows me one of her first print Ninja Turtles that she takes to cons, and it's used, it's worn in, and she says that she got them from the creators, and one of them's in pristine condition, like 9.8 quality. They were signed. She has videos of them being signed. I was like, oh my god, that's yeah. She has two of them, and one of them is legit, like gem mint. It's in a thing. It's been in a thing forever. And when she got them from Laird and Eastner, I forget his name. She had a conversation with them, and she's like, "Yeah, we always want these to be accessible to people, and they're almost like against like grading, because if you grade them, you can't read them, you can't like feel them, and I get that's what the second prints and third prints are for, but so she has one copy. Well, she has two copies. One of them is like the used one that she brings to cons, and she allows people to. There's a episode of Recess where TJ Detweiler like hits his head, and he thinks he's like a kindergartner again. And he goes on and says, like, guys, like I remember that I was, a big kid, third, fourth grade, whatever, for some time now, but I liked being a kindergartner again. He says, like, you really enjoy the warmth on your son, and you don't just paint with colors. You put your hands in and you finger paint and you feel the colors. And I was like, I don't 100% know even now like what that 100% means, but that feeling of just like, yeah, being young when things meant more to you. And a lot of people lose that, I think, including me, because she said she has the one that she keeps in pristine condition, and it's in a thing. But the other one that she brings to cons that was also in very good condition when she first got it, she's like, no, this is meant to like be loved. This is meant to be held. And where else can you see one of those that's raw, that you can actually not just see the history in a museum and view it from afar, but you can actually feel that in your hands? Like I can count maybe on like a handful of times where I was touching something that was important enough to be in a museum quality that wasn't in a thing. Like I've held, like, my trophy Kangaskhan is one of those, but that was inside a PSA case. But to have that in, oh my god, that's art, Mr. White. I have a last minute Ronin Ashcan, got it free from my store owner. Oh, epic. So yeah, like that. And I said, like, you like, and she definitely knew better than I was, but like that signed first print that's in pristine condition, like that go for like $100 grand, right? And she's like, yeah, I know. I was like, Well, I didn't even get the question out. I was like, would you? And I needed a minute too. I was like, whoo, girl. And she's like, no, like this is, she wants to open a museum and she wants to have that. And like that is such a, like, if she were to ask me, so I actually have to send her the VeVe link to my link down below if you haven't signed up for the VeVe app. I have to send a link to the VeVe app. I'm gonna get her like first collect, like when the Ninja Turtles come out in a couple weeks. They said November. I'll make sure she gets at least one, but probably a couple of the Ninja Turtles. She likes Michelangelo. She likes Mikey, because she's awesome, beautiful soul. And if she were to ask me just about like collect, and again, I can collect with the best of them, but for the museum quality type of stuff, because she wants to open a museum with all of her stuff, I would say like, hey, listen, I can advise on certain things, but the best person to talk to would probably be like Sean from Comics and Crypto, because I'm sure he has a TMNT like VHS. He might have a couple of them, like, right? He might have multiple of them. And she's probably got, that one thing is worth like 6 figures, but she's probably got multiple of that. And yeah, that's, I don't know what's right. Is it someone like me? Yeah, everything has their price. You can do things with that money. You can help people with that money. You can help yourself. Or is it preserving history in the heart of a true collector? Like there's certain things that I want, not just in my hands, but in collectors' hands. Sean got that one of one Stanley Gibbons, and I was like, awesome, because that it went into the hands of someone that's a true collector, and that is very hard to come by nowadays, even amongst our group. I know a couple of people that have first prints. I actually think I think Clever Jerk might have. I think Clever Jerk might have. He might have one. I feel like he does. I actually have to ask. Let me shoot him a message. Where is the Clever Jerk? Now, you have a first print TMNT comic, right? Yeah. Ah, I said 8. I meant right. Oh God, right. Okay. Oh my God, Space Penguin Girl. Hi. Meow 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 meow. Anyway, just that gave me life. That talk, that interview, and I wish she would have shown that on the podcast. But again, it was already like 2 hours, and but I'm gonna get to meet her in December. She's gonna come to GalaxyCon. GalaxyCon is in Columbus, Ohio, so I'll be able to go and see her. That'll be really cool. She's so awesome. The fact that we talked for like an hour off camera as well is like, yep, good friends, best friends. Anywho, what's up, Bill Garter? How's it going? Meow 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 meow. What's up, fun under the sun? How's it going, fam? Your wife likes TMNT more than you, bro. You got it. Also, you have gone back to your old profile picture, unless you have a different one on X than you do here. Anyway, what's up, Space Penguin Girl? Thank you for reposting the stream. I was talking to your hubby the other day. Did he tell you? Did he tell you that I saw his handsome face on Thursday? Friday? When did I have this? Spaces, Star Dogs. Friday. I spoke to him at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That was the time of our meeting. It was good. All right. Anyway, VeVe user deep dive. Okay, let's get to crypto here real quick. Before I get too far into this, let's do Definity, and let's see what we got here. We are up. Actually, we're down 0.5% for Definity, but we're at 2.4 cents. We are going to. I don't know when we get the buybacks, but those are starting again soon. We just had a couple of days of like 10%, 20% up, so probably due for a down day. Which the greater crypto market kind of been up the past 24 hours. Bitcoin up to 108. It was up to 109.3 before, 109.4 actually. And ETH was over 4K. It's still up 2% on the day. Ethereum. This is now at 39.62. Oh, we got Junebug. Thank you for $20 super chat. Says, are you? Oh, also Gengar. Love Gengar. So many reasons. Are you bullish on Definity? Of course. That's actually my biggest position. I'm assuming so since it's in your title. I'm thinking I'm not bullish enough. My biggest bag is DEVVE. So listen, Junebug. DEVVE is definitely the one that I'm going to probably stack more of in the next week or two. But it's just because I have so much Definity already. I really need to DCA into other stuff. And don't get me wrong, like I should probably give me $1 million. Yeah, I'm going to get more Definity, but the amount of money I'm going to get this week is not going to be a ton. So I only have a little bit to work with, and I might get a little bit. If it was back at like 1.5 cents, yeah, I would have, thrown a bunch at it. But now it's at 2.4 cents. If it goes back down to like 2, maybe I'll get some. But I really need more DEVVE, and I want to DCA on OMI a little bit too. Just because it's OMI. Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, Definity right now is currently between the token and the company's biggest position. And that it might stay like that for months. I don't think it'll stay like that. I mean, if Definity runs first, it'll stay like that forever, right? Like it'll be my biggest position for a long time. But if it doesn't run first and OMI or DEVVE runs, well, then it's possible that it no longer becomes my biggest bag, because then other stuff would have taken it over. But yeah, Definity is one. It's bet on the horse or the jockey with Definity. All of these companies, you kind of have both. You have these. God, there's something I want to read from. I think it's 2 days ago from Definity. It wasn't yesterday, right? No, it was billion in cash, truth, explain, DC. I don't need dry ice. Oh God, that's hysterical. Maybe it was. Well, they have a Series A that they're working on, so Definity is going to be absolutely flush with cash. I don't know what they're going to do with it, but they have a Series A. They could raise, I don't know how many millions of dollars if they want, and I don't even think they need it because they're making well into the 6 figures each month. Okay, so for those that didn't hear the AMA, Chris said that buybacks and burns are back on the card, so we should start seeing them pop up again. Also, utility built into trading means Definity is part of the process, which is in collab with a larger foundation linked to one of the bigger layer ones, is being discussed with the leadership of that foundation, and that can be huge. And I think, okay, all right, here it is. Here it is for Definity. We're bringing institutional grade execution to digital assets. For decades, electronic communication networks, aka ECNs, have been the foundation of institutional trading across equities, FX, and fixed income, delivering unmatched transparency, speed, and efficiency. At Definity Markets, we're applying that same proven infrastructure to the digital asset space. We're not a counterparty, we're not a market maker, and we're not a broker. We're an execution-only venue, neutral, transparent, and regulated. When institutions trade through us, they're accessing a deep pool of institutional liquidity via a robust ECN architecture. This means a couple of things. 1, there's no conflict of interest. We don't take the other side of your trade. 2, there's full transparency. Every order is matched anonymously and fairly. 3, regulated environment built to meet the compliance standards that institutions expect. 4, pure execution. No hidden fees, no opaque routing, and no gimmicks. This is how institutions have traded for decades. Now it's about how digital assets evolve. So they're crushing it. They're crushing it. Anyway, Bill Gardner got a 9.0 first run VHS TMNT 9.2. Oh, that's epic. Copy. Sorry, I got. Someone just messaged me something, and I have to giggle like a little girl. My podcastee today has 2 first print runs, one of which is used / worn that she brings to cons. The other is basically gem mint condition, raw though, raw and signed. It's amazing. Okay, anyway, where was I here? Yeah, so ask me anything about what you want them for, or ask me anything about anything. All right, where were we? We had done Definity. That was the first thing that we did. Only 1,700 in volume, $3.7 million market cap. Compare that with daCat that has only 1,000 in volume, $2 million market cap, but it has 492,000 in liquidity, where Definity over on Uniswap has 126,000 in liquidity. So that is pretty low. I would like that to go a bit higher. And where can we get that? Maybe end of the year. We'll see. Penguin S2M says, when bull market for altcoins and OMI, or was 0005 the highest we've seen this year? Well, earlier in January, it was like 0007 for a hot minute. But yeah, bull market for altcoins and OMI, honestly, you might not see until next year. If you ask Crypto Rain, will Q4 will be a good time for crypto? Nobody has what do you call it, a crystal ball to be able to determine exactly what dates, unless you're Josh Mandel, who has been right the last 2 times. Now he's saying that November 8th is going to be, and that goes in line with what Tom Lee just said. Tom Lee just had a wild freaking prediction, saying that in 75 days, Bitcoin will be $250,000. 1, 2. Okay, so 60 days from now is December 19th. So the 29th. So pretty much like super early January, he's thinking $250,000 for Bitcoin. Yeah, sure, that's possible. And that goes in line with one of the blow off tops that we might have. I don't think you really get a major alt season until then, but that doesn't mean that other things can't run beforehand, like DEVVE. Like Junebug was saying, DEVVE is probably going to run mid to late December when they announce who their exchange partner is. Now, we don't really know for sure who their exchange partner is. We're thinking one of like 5, 7 of them. Shanghai, London, Tokyo, New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ. Like we're thinking one of these things that it could be, but nobody really knows. But it doesn't really matter who it is, and it really doesn't matter what type of partnership it is. But if they announce something like that something that has tens of billions of dollars in market cap, money's just going to flood into it, especially if like they're able to put all the transactions on the blockchain and it settles for DEVVE and locking up a bunch of DEVVE for it to be used as liquidity. It should be insane. But that's one altcoin out of the millions that there are. And again, what narrative will, like DEVVE honestly could kick off that TradFi narrative. You could have VeVe and OMI that kick off the NFT bull market, although that's probably going to happen with Moonbirds and CryptoPunks, etc., Milady Makers, all that, and then it'll flow into digital collectibles. But anything's possible. DEVVE, I definitely think goes, but you could have memes that run first. Heck, you could have daCat that could run first, because cats have pretty much taken over the internet already without even trying. And a bunch of dog memes have run. Like one cat meme has run, and like that's it. And we have a lot going for us. And I got a tattoo of them. I wouldn't do that unless I was in it for the long haul. Sleeping got some OMI when it was at 0016. My man, get that bread. Bill Gardner, give me those dabs. Love you. Bill Gardner says, sleeping, when next comic video? Number 1 is, oh wow. Oh my god. That is so freaking cool. Let me text my bae. you, when I say my bae, I mean Foster Hilt, and I will tell Foster that to get him on a video along with Sleepin'. I wonder if Foster's going to Vegas. Mhm, 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 mhm. Okay, where was it? No, another message. I'm up to. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, let's take a look at. We did daCat, we did DEFINITY. Let's do. Oh, let's do DEVVE. Let's see what they're at today. Give me 1 second. Accidentally fed. Let me meow 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 and realized my meow. So I made it seem. Sorry guys, give me like 1 second. Like it was. Okay. Okay. DEVVE is down 2% on the day to just under 41 cents at just under $36 million market cap, less than 200K in volume. So not a ton of volume, and that's fine. Wait like 4 days. Well, hopefully I get my funds on Wednesday. And if I do, great. And if not, I also might have a lot of traveling to do this week. Not sure. Maybe Doomsday Trailer will kick me into it again. Bro, that'd be awesome. So how do you want it to happen? How do you want Doomsday to go? Because there's multiple things that they could do. They could do it where Doom is in Iron Man's body and Iron Man's mind is in Doom. They could do it where excuse me. I mean, if they want to keep it in the MCU, I mean, the timeline of the OG Avengers 2012, like they messed that timeline up, where the Tesseract, like Loki got the Tesseract and kind of escaped. So I mean, they could probably have that type of. They could probably do something with that. Tony Stark going insane, being like, "Oh God, where's these? What happened to the Tesseract? What happened to Loki? Where's all this going?" Like that. That would be cool. That'd be a cool what if story. And maybe they've done that already. But I'm curious how you want Doom introduced. And I know we had that little teaser at the end of Fantastic Four, and that was cool. But I assume we want other ways. Heard crazier and crazier tidbits from reliable sources. My guy. I can't wait. I mean, also we should know, because Sleeping, we've read Secret Wars. Oh God, that I can't wait. I don't want to spoil anything, so I won't. But bro, the meetings between a couple of people is just gonna be epic, and I can't wait. Anything more difficult? Yeah, I've heard. Give me 1 second. I've heard that. Like 70% of people go for SIGs. SIG can't get it from layered. Okay. But yeah, I would love to see a what if video from Sleepin'. Be like, what if they did this, or they could do this? Oh, Space Penguin, thanks for replying to this. Love those guys. Oh God, I'm so fat. I don't need this. And they kind of know about. Oh, true. Forgot about that. I might have a guest this weekend on the podcast. Someone that most of y'all won't know, but some of y'all might. And there are some big time actors that Sleeping. Don't tempt me, Frodo. Don't tease me, woman. And I've trolled your few times. Homemade baked goods, cream cheese danishes. Ooh. You will meow 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 meow. Okay. My job to keep us on a meow 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 meow. Okay. All right, we did DEVVE, we did Definity. We did daCat. Let's do SHIRO before we go to OMI and see what they did today. SHIRO Nico is down 6% on the day to $2.66 million market cap, 342K in they still get the volume. Exchanges are rough, but they'll be able to. These are one of the things that I think could go boom in a meme bull run. June Bugs, I'm excited for X-Men versus Avengers. I'm not. All right, so that'll be cool. Like, right, that'll be dope. But grew up with X-Men, right? Like, I feel like in the 90s, we had it good. Batman, the animated series, X-Men, Spider-Man, the animated series, like Superman, which was, was okay. But we had it good. Then like Justice League Unlimited, there was like the Renaissance era of superhero stuff. So I kind of grew up on X-Men. Also, that theme song, oh my god, that oh my, that I will never not get pumped when listening to that. I still listen to that, like the metal version of that. There's one band called Power Glove, and they do like metal versions of like Power Rangers, and they do metal version of X-Men, and it's fantastic. But that being said, even though I discovered X-Men first, I like Avengers more. I guess because I was an adult and they had slightly more adultier things, and Iron Man was an alcoholic, and so was I. And I got to identify with, and not that I'm anywhere near as smart as Tony Stark. I don't think anyone is. But I've had I've had a decent amount of failures. Captain America identified through the military, Black Widow through a couple of things. Barton I never really identified with. He was just cool as heck. He was just cool. But each one of them I like, hey, freaking like this one. And in X-Men versus Avengers are kind of outclassed. Like they kind of get their ass, like it's one of the, I forget which James Bond it was. It wasn't Quantum of Solace. No Time to Die. It was a Daniel Craig one. It was like the third one, I think. And like they make him old, and it's hard to see, like, that's James Bond. That's, he's badass, and they made him old, and it was hard to see my guys like that, and like, like Sting is like in AEW, right, or NXT, whatever he's in now, and he's old, like Grandpa's old. It's hard to see some of these guys that I saw in like their 20s and 30s. Like Hardy Boy has been wrestling for like 30 years now, and it's, they're still great. They're still awesome. I'll always pump for them. But it's hard to see them kind of get manhandled by these like 25, 30-year-old dudes. It's hard to see, like, so in X-Men versus Avengers, when Avengers are kind of getting their asses handed to them, it's like, oh man, I don't want to see that. And I don't want to see the people that I love so much just get their shit rocked for 2 hours. Like I don't want to, I just want. I was looking, y'all shouldn't. No, you didn't. No. Oh, but okay, yeah, fair point. It's like I don't have any problem with that actor specifically, but yeah, they yeah. All right, I understand. It's like people wanting the first. I remember people wanting the first scene of Star Wars Episode 3 to be Jar Jar just getting his head blown off, and the whole theater would have gone nuts. So yeah, I understand that. And okay, was too old. Okay, agreed. But he was jacked though. He was like, okay, bro. He was the most. He was all right. Pierce Brosnan devilishly good looking, right? Like you can like kind of believe that like yeah, he could seduce these women. But and again, world is not enough. Um GoldenEye, like he played a good James Bond, like great movies, great video games, but what's up, eh? Say amen for sin. But Pierce Brosnan, like, you know, even though again, boyishly good looks, good looking dude, right? 15-year-old me could beat the shit out of him. Like 15-year-old me would rock his shit. And that sounds sexual. I didn't mean it that way. Like 15-year-old me would kick the crap out of adult Pierce Brosnan. 20-year-old me could probably not take Daniel Craig. Even now, well, now, I mean, he's older now, but um, like Daniel Craig, like there was no question in anyone's mind that he couldn't like handle himself. Pierce Brosnan, though, was like, can you really be doing these things? This is, like it's movie magic, whatever. But I would, yeah, that you would. Um, but Daniel Craig, like, yeah, no, like it doesn't look like he can't fight, like there's a stand up. It wasn't Delirious. It was God. What was Eddie at Raw? I think it was Eddie Murphy's Raw, where he had. I think he was making fun of Mr. T in one of his previous stand ups, and also making fun of Michael Jackson, one of his previous stand ups, and both of them asked Eddie Murphy like, "Hey, cut the shit." And Eddie Murphy said like, like when Mr. T asked me to like, tone it down, like he doesn't look like he can't fight, like so I was like, okay, all right, Mr. T, I will, I will, because he's Clubber Lang, he's WWE, he's a beast. And then he's just like Michael Jackson asked me, like, I will slap Michael around, like he said it such matter of factly, God rest his soul. So I agree that Daniel Craig was probably a bit too old to play him at when he first started, even though he played him for like 3 decades. Late 2000s, all the 2010s, and then early 2020s. He played him like the longest. Um, he was just so jacked and so like, ugh. And nobody else was like that. Like I remember in all of the past Jokers, like I know Joker's just like a human, right? He's just like his mind is crazy and warped, and that's where he becomes dangerous because he's a mastermind at chaos. He's an agent of chaos. But whether it's and don't get me started, like the OG Batman, like none of the OG superheroes were like ever in any shape, right? But then actors started lifting, people started lifting, and even in Heath Ledger played Joker beautifully. Um, Obviously Oscar worthy. Obviously it was great, and I believed in the maniacal laughter. I believed in the headspace that he was in, and I believed he was like he was the Joker, but he was just the psychopathic um, version of him. Jared Leto, for all of his faults, like, and don't get me wrong, there were quite a lot. He looked like Joker's supposed to be a decent martial artist. Now, can he actually take on Batman? No, because Batman is like a master of all martial arts. But when Jared Leto first came out as Joker, and he had some muscle, he was ripped. It's like, okay, this dude can fight. One of the main problems I had with the old Star Wars movies is that you have these like young kids learning from like these old guys, and you never saw a Jedi in their prime. And in the prequels, again, for some of their faults, you had Jedi's in their prime. You had young Obi-Wan Kenobi, and that was perfect casting. And then you had not Neil deGrasse, Liam Neeson, just again not young, but not super old, and it was just Oh God, it was perfect. So when Daniel Craig first told me, yeah, I appreciated getting a jacked James Bond that looked like, oh, he did that. Yeah, 100% believe it. So again, in that same breath, X-Men versus Avengers, I feel like I've gone on it's already 40 minutes into this freaking podcast, into this live. I haven't gone over any of the news yet. Aside for X-Men versus Avengers, I am too, but I'm not looking forward to seeing the people that I know and love just get absolutely assaulted with no Vaseline. Anyway, say amen for sin. It's good having you here, and maybe I'll see you soon. Anyway, let's go to OMI. Because it's been 40 minutes. I haven't gone over that yet. Oh, it was doing okay. Upwards to like 0.00185 and back down to 0.001,742. Down about 2%, 1.5% on the day. Just under a $50 million market cap at 49 million. And we'll take a look at the true trading volume over on CoinGecko. And at CoinGecko, we have 3.7 million in volume. So not a ton. I'm going to give my little update to them. And on DeepCoin, we've got 1.4 million in volume there, 843,000 on Bing X. Oh, it's not a lot. 442 on Bitmart, and MEXC has 286.7. Yep, got lucky. You did get lucky, my man. Okay. Oh, Michelle Ivy actually just sent me a message. Oh, okay. Okay. So I have to put this. I don't know. Can I put this in somewhere? Open. Can I copy the link? Ah, no. Okay. So Michelle Ivy, she has a book out, and I'm gonna see if I could paste the book down in here into the live chat. I don't know if it'll let me. It is Foam Sculpting by Dave Ivy. That was her dad. Says, "What's hiding in your couch cushion?" Looks pretty cool. And I talking about it now on live. Oh, which reminds me, I have to give her meow meow meow. DEVVE exchange. No, this is not okay. Copied. Gonna go back to pasting. Okay, here is the link to download the VeVe app. Right? Yeah. And get 10 free gems. Yeah. Okay, what we got, y'all? Oh, hey, it's me. Okay, very good, very good. And that's if anyone wants to go buy. I don't even know how much that is on Amazon. It is $20. Huzzah. If the I'm not just by my roommate, I'm not just making them to make them. I would never. A way to a man's heart is through his arteries, and if you make me stuff, I'm gonna eat it. Totally gonna eat it. All right, let me X out of here. Go to where we at? Okay, back to the OMI here real quick. I don't have a good idea of where it's going in the short term because I didn't expect it to get down here. I also didn't expect Bitcoin to go from 126 to 102. Sorry about that. I don't know how somebody messaged me something and I went away, but I'm back now. Soon, babe. Okay. But in I don't know what'll kick it off, whether it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles could be a really big thing for them. I mean, again, we've already had I did a video. If you missed the video that I put it out at like 1 a.m. because after my live yesterday, it was good for you, mate. Good for you. After my live yesterday, I had like 2 meetings and then a phone call, and then I didn't get to make the video until like 12:30, and I released it at like 1. It was about, and this will kick off the news here. It was about how in the last 2 weeks, we have 300 users, new users that have made their first purchase. And in the last 4 weeks, we actually have 400 users. So we're averaging about 100 per week the last 4 weeks. And I don't think that is going to slow down. It's possible that it might say, well, that was Comic-Con and yeah, DesignerCon before then. So maybe, but we also just got a pretty big affiliate partner. And I'm gonna encourage Michelle Ivy to try out for the VeVe affiliate program because of the fact that people listen to her. And even if she only does it for the turtles, even if she only does it for the people that will follow her just on the Ninja Turtles and nothing else, that's fine. Like I don't honestly that's what I don't really expect. I only expect people if you're into, let's say, like Cartoon Network. Hey, come on here and use this thing, get 10 free gems, and then buy Princess Bubblegum in the secondary market. Buy Finn, buy Jake, buy these Powerpuff Girls. And if they only come in for that's still cool. Get more users on here. In which World Series it was. I think it was like Cardinals versus Red Sox. And the Cardinals were supposed to versus the Yankees in this year. I forget which year it was, but the Red Sox came from behind like 3-0 and defeated the Yankees, and they were on such a high that I think they like swept the Cardinals that year. The National League had won the All-Star game, so first 2 games were at St. Louis. The mid 3 games are supposed to be at in Boston, and then the last 2 games, should they need it, would be back at St. Louis. And it's like, okay, you know what? Lost the first 2 games. We have to go to Boston now. Okay, just win a couple games, get the series back to St. Louis. Didn't work out that way, but in that way, in that same breath, I want to say, like, just get the users on here to buy one cool thing. Once they buy one, and they get to view it in AR and take pictures with them and put it in the VeVeverse, and like, oh, hey, for this one thing, and because you can play with the size of these collectibles, I've seen some really creative photos where somebody puts their, let's say, like Ninja Turtle on like the grass right here, right in front of their phone, but it looks huge because right in front of the phone, and then the person is like 13 feet back, and it looks like they're the same size as the action figure. Like, I've seen some creative stuff like that, and that's cool. But with the collectibles, you don't have to do that because you can make them as big or as small as you want. I'll show some right now. I don't know. Wait 1 second. Someone has been heck yeah. Earlier today sent me the schlicking video. I was meow 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 meow. Okay. Let me show you these. Are they downloaded or on this device? It's a good device. Yeah, I'll go to an old school one where I was next to Dr. Doom. Now, granted, he was small, and I could have made him much larger, but I didn't. I liked him being a small little Marvel Mighty. The Eddie Riso was next to a Long Island. I'm trying to think of one where I have one that's like huge. Oh yeah, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I remember being on a date with this gal, and we were going to see Ghostbusters, and it was great. I love those new Ghostbusters movies. Paul Rudd, McKenna Grace, great times. Alligator Loki. Look at how big he is. He's huge. And then you have the little Tokidokis with me and Fam Bam. Oh my god, that was so long ago. Dude, this is the one that VeVe like, I don't know why VeVe banned this photo on the app. They said it was like too like risque or something. Maybe I mean, in this photo, she's not even showing that much cleavage. Like she actually had a lot of cleavage, but she wasn't even showing it. But yeah, with Ursula, like that's dope. Omar loves Omar. Good evening. Good evening, Omar. How's it going? But what I'm saying is that you can have things that are super, super big and life size and lifelike. And once people go in and discover how fun it is, you can buy this, take pictures with it. Anyone that goes to cons knows that you only have so much room in your backpack. You only have so much room in your luggage. And being able to carry 1,000 things with you into your, excuse me, 1,000 things with you in AR is like, hey, take a picture with this one, and you don't need to carry any extra stuff because it's all on your phone. That's incredible utility. And then when you're at home, putting that in the VeVe-verse and playing with it there, more utility. Devo Kyle says, journey to daCat whale chart. He is. Devo Kyle's been getting that bread, and we believe we were talking about you. All good things. All good things. We believe that he will be in the whale chat at some point. He did a little buy yesterday. We saw that. And we believe you're going to, actually, I did 2 buys yesterday, I see. And we believe you'll get there. We're waiting for you. It's like, yeah, I don't know if you ever seen that meme. I could show it to you right now. Yeah. This guy, Greg Payne, says, I recently read about a man who collects pictures of hitters who hit walk-off home runs. And he said that the reason he did this is because this is how he views us entering heaven. As you're rounding third base and your team is there waiting. And like this is how we're viewing Devo Kyle right now. Like I took a picture of or screenshot of your comment on the video the other day, and I was just like, hey guys, he's gonna get here eventually. Like, yeah, I can't wait for him to get here. And like we see it, Devo Kyle. But don't worry, take your time. We'll be here when you get there. We'll do what else did I have going? Oh, I forgot. I was supposed to go over the news here, and I completely got distracted. In the wallet, in the active daily wallets, they finally on October 10th got over 1,000 users. Huzzah! But then there was, a day here on October 14th where they had 563. It's like, oh. But that being said, we didn't have any under 652 any other day. So I'm happy with that. That's fine. And we had a couple that were 900s, 929, 941, one at 860. So again, pretty okay with this. What Mama says, 100% is great having unlimited collectibles for AR photos, and it all fits in your pocket. Preach, sir, preach. I was going to try to work out today midday before the podcast with Michelle, but I didn't have any clean clothes, so I was like, and then I was going to try to do it after, but again, I had the podcast, and then we talked for a while afterwards, and then I had this, and then my friend ordered Italian food, and I had meatballs, and oh my god, the ricotta cheese, and I ate so much bread. Like the diet fell off hard on the diet today. I had like maybe 90 grams of protein, like maybe, but probably not even. And it's with I'm fat, and I have something to do this weekend, and maybe even before this weekend, and I feel like I have to get this bread, but not really. I have to go on and try to, and then Vegas, and then that was the goal. Yeah, YOLO. Oh my goodness. So I'm this admin of a Psyduck group, and we all just send pictures of Psyduck to each other. For example, Pokemon in Love. What were they doing in the first season of Pokemon when they made this? Pokemon in, like, what were they filming? Were there fluffers there? I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. Just showed this to my good times. We love Psyduck. Psyduck is there's in all of the trophy cards from the world's cards, for whatever reason, Psyduck is in all of them. Like if you Google Pokemon Worlds, let me see this. Pokemon Worlds cards. Do images, and it doesn't really matter what year. Yeah, all right. So this is a championship festival. This is from 2019. And as you see, like, okay, here's Pikachu with like the Hey Arnold face. There's Eevee. There, and you see a bunch of Pokemon in the background. The unevolved form of Bravebird is over there. Oh, you have like Metang and you have Machamp in the background. Machamp looks epic AF. But then you also have some of the previous years in the card over there. There's Bulbasaur and Pikachu, but also you see Psyduck in the main one with a couple of Metang, and then Psyduck again in his whole ass freaking boat. He's in every single world's card, and I don't know why they do that, but they do. Like for example, this one, if it'll ever load, I will 100% show you. Okay, so this is Worlds 2012. And in Worlds 2012, you see, okay, you see the three elemental monkeys. You see Pikachu, again, that little Hey Arnold face. But who's peeking in the background? It's Psyduck! He's been in all of them since like 06. I'll put Pokemon Worlds 2007. And this one, he is straight up front and center here. Where you have Chimchar, or you have Turtwig, you have Piplup and Chimchar, and then Psyduck right in the middle. So again, really like Psyduck promo for Mega Evolution is a hit. Ooh, let me go. Anyone have Psyduck promo for Mega Evolution? Apparently, he's a hit. I want to buy that card. Omar actually put Terminator 2 Judgment. Oh, that's epic. Oh, that is really cool. Oh, that's so dope. Imagine get a collectible like this on VeVe, says Omar. Yeah, that would be dope. I would love that. That'd be insane. Michelle says, okay. Ash Crypto Real says the gold market cap is $30 trillion. Bitcoin market cap is 2.1 trillion. Gold supply is unlimited, which can increase anytime. And there are big deposits found, just like they found in Africa. But the Bitcoin supply is only 21 million. You do the math. Too scary. New PFP. Who dis? Small dip. Give me 1 second. Yeah, we're not going to get a bullish momentum for a while. Maybe we will. Who knows? Okay, we are on the road to Meridian City. Where are we on the road to? Okay, and that's just the wallet. The wallets will get better. We just got to wait for the overall bull market to come in. Millie giving the team a hard time here, where he says, VeVe meeting, okay, we have Stanley Gibbons again. These do well. Should we reward collectors? No, let's call it what we can dangle as a chase to get them to click as much as possible. Employer 2, but collectors at heart. So again, I kind of disagree with O'Mill in two ways. One, the delivery on this. Like, I think you should, if you want to call a spade and be like, hey guys, let's just, if you want to call them out, call them out. I don't think the passive aggressive thing really works. Either way, how do you expect people to click on stuff? How do you expect the team to make money? How do you expect if the app doesn't make money, none of the collectibles are going to be worth anything. Recur went down. How much are those Hello Kitty collectibles worth? How much are those NFTs worth? Now, granted, they're JPEGs, so they're probably not going to be worth a ton anyway, but they're good IP, and they are the first of their kind. in a way. Again, it doesn't matter how good or scarce the collectibles are. If the underlying company that supports those collectibles goes under, it doesn't matter. I feel like that point hasn't been driven home for too many people because everyone just assumes that, well, as long as they're interoperable, they'll be fine. And sure, you technically own them, but you own something that's really not worth anything. I think what VeVe's been doing, and I get it, I wish there would have been maybe a little bit less mints on the common, because they're selling for $1. And again, going from $10 to $1, I get it's a 90% decrease, but it's not that bad. It's better than buying a $50 Vader and it being worth $6 because you only lose $9 as opposed to 44. You know, that one's a harder pill to swallow. But this one, and again, I wish there would have been less common editions because of the fact that that might have actually made it sell out easier, and that just looks better. And again, that's just optics. That's oh god, bless me. All right, November 25th, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Okay, really, we have to wait that long? Okay, all right. All right, hold on. TMNT, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. From November 25th. Okay, very good, very good. I will take that. I will take that. I wish it would be earlier in November, but either way, let's take a look at the Stanley Gibbons drop because they still did like 25 grand, so I'm happy with that. It'll show it as soon as they go on. Or maybe they won't. I don't know. Maybe they, for whatever reason, the app might be down for maintenance. In the meantime, oh gosh, Jason Pena, thanks for being a member. Saying Scotty Young artwork looks sick, bro. He's amazing. Scotty Young's amazing. Yeah, so they actually made $26,000 from this. So again, I wish the commons were a bit less. This way, you have a better chance of hitting the secret rare, and you have a better chance of making like more people would have gone for it. I feel like if they had less common, you know, less of those commons probably would. And again, it would look better having sold out 80 or 90% of a drop as opposed to selling out, you know, like 55%, which is still not bad. Again, they still made money on it. What do you think DEVVE can hit? This is kind of a two-part, maybe three-parter. DEVVE, I think, hits $1 something, $1 to $1.80 before the announcement. And the announcement's probably nine weeks away, so it's very, very close. And I think DEVVE can reach anywhere from, well, I think it can reach up to $1.80 because that's it's hit that twice now. It's hit that a couple of times, but it doesn't have to hit that. It could still be here. It could be lower than this. It could be 30 cents. It could be lower than that. But that's before the announcement. Everything changes when the Fire Nation attacks. Everything changes once that announcement is live and people hear who the exchange partner is. It doesn't even matter what type of partnership it is, doesn't matter how much money it is. They're just going to go in and they're going to get FOMO. And if you talk to Believes, he thinks it'll be $1 billion market cap, which would be like a 30x from here. So that'd be like a $12. I'm gonna go along and say on the announcement, let's say 700 million, which is what 70% of 12 minus 3.6. And I feel like maybe I say $8, give or take, just because, you know, that billion is I think a key resistance area. And then he says once you actually roll out the exchange and you have the staking going on and you have the rewards, and you have the revenue, especially the fact that we're able to have that. They're able to share 60% of the trading fees. Link down below if you want to get your own referral code. So link down below to the DEVVE exchange. You sign up, you get your own referral code, and you can tell your big whales to trade, and they will. So at that point, then I think we go to like $40, $50. So you have your before the announcement, which I think we can get up to $1.80, but it could be anywhere from $1.80 to below. You could reach 20 cents. Like we have no idea. But then the announcement happens, and then suddenly you're at several dollars. I think like $7, $8. Believe it says it'll be about 12. See who's right, and he could be. We could both be undercutting it. We could both be sandbagging it, and it could be $15 in the announcement, $20. We don't know. But then afterwards, in the blow off top next year, you could see it at $40, $50. You could see it at $100. You could see it at $200. Like the limit does not exist. I can quote Mean Girls there. Can't believe Mean Girls is 21 years old. Damn. No, I wish I did. Just like Misty Psyduck, it's one of the best looking cards from the Team Rocket set, bro. Yeah, Misty Psyduck is. I remember paying 3.5K for a first edition PSA 10 Misty's Psyduck back in the day. Wild times. Wild thing. You make my heart sing. You make everything groovy. Jason Payne says, why don't we talk about artworks much? A lot of it is because most people can't afford to get it. And Trump says we can lower China tariffs, and we are confident of reaching a soybean deal with China. Let's go. Go, buddy. Every empire has its own trader and king. Rome had gold. We have tweets. Anyway, there's not a ton of artworks out there. There's a couple dozen. But the ones that, they're held mostly by big whales, and they don't really need to let them go. They are huge flexes. And yeah, why we don't talk about artworks much is because they're out of reach for most of us. I think at some point we'll be able to say, hey, a lot of us big collectors, a lot of us ones that have a lot of OMI will be able to get one. Sure. I don't know when I'll get one. Maybe next year. We'll see. Thought myself about Logic with her message with Christmas. Does this mean audience? It's hysterical. My friends are hysterical. But that's probably why. I mean, I always like to bring it up because it looks great for VeVe that we have these artworks. The fact that David can say, yeah, on my website, we have stuff sell for thousands of dollars every week, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars. Like that is a major flex. That is a major, major flex, and nobody talks about that enough. You're right, Jason Mania, including me. PM, Millie, sorry, but would you rather VeVe not release cool shit? What? Yeah, yeah, I just, again, I don't know how much he says for just content. I don't know how much he says, because again, O'Malley's never really run a company, especially like I've never run a company this big. My company's been very, very small. I think there's a really big disconnect between people that just want certain things, and fair, we want. I wish we had smaller edition sizes for some of these things too. Versus the realities of running a company like this, where you have so many hands in the pot and you have so many people trying to say like give their input. But it's the internet. Everyone's got a voice. And if people really want to get behind it, they should vote with their wallets. They say like, no, this is too many mints. You don't have to buy it. But companies releasing stuff is like a democracy. People will vote with their wallets. If you release something that is cool enough people will buy it, so that I don't want to say it doesn't matter what other collectors say, but people keep buying it, and again, they made 26K on it. Everyone, including me, wished that the Darth Vader samurai, like the samurai Darth Vader, we wish that was a lot lower in mints. But guess what? Sold out. Made him $148,000, and that's before secondary sales. So give it to me, give it to Doctor of Stuff, give it that 90% of people on the Facebook VeVe channel. They would have halved the amount of Vaders, and they would have only made the company 70K as opposed to 148K. I mean, I wouldn't have halved it. I would have, well, fuck, for the commons, maybe I would have. I don't know. Yeah, it's if you release it is frustrating for people that want it super scarce, but people also have to recognize that the numbers they're putting out are very scarce compared to the numbers that we were seeing. Now, granted, in 2021, we had a shit ton of users, and now, again, there was a random day last week where we had 500 users. What the heck? But there are days where we have thousands of users. So, you know, and that number is likely only going to get bigger. And we have those users, some of these things that are super scarce, like you'll probably see a day where we'll probably see a month some point next year where we don't have a day below like 3,000 users or 5,000 users. Be a whole different ball game then. This says you do not have to participate in every job. Agreed. But if homie got the 1 of 1, would he comment? Nah, maybe not. Maybe not. Junebug says believes things $1 billion, then 5 billion in short order for DEVVE. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very, very possible. We could have and it could go a lot. It could go higher. 5 billion is nothing compared to what it could do in a blow off top. Sam N for Sin says if Trump hadn't effed up tariffs in the first place, some of us wouldn't be celebrating the soybean deal. Hashtag FDT. Listen, the tariffs were there's it's not a real Magic the Gathering card, but there's a Magic the Gathering card lookalike. It's not real, but it's funny, where they made one of Trump and it's like, play him, your bags are immediately halved, meaning like any investment that you have in crypto is immediately cut in half, taking a 50% haircut, because that's what Trump's tariffs did. It was horrible for crypto. It was very, very bad for it. That being said, the tariffs were kind of needed from a national security standpoint. This was something that probably could have gone on for another 20, 30 years, and we didn't need any of the tariffs. And then you'd have like an absolute shit show of a US, but it sucks that it had to be done. And again, the tariffs just destroyed like half my net worth. It destroyed most of a lot of people's net worths because of the fact that, yeah, it was absolute detrimental to the economy. But hopefully with some of that tariff revenue, we get those $1,000 to $2,000 checks. Again, you do have a little bit of safety for the US as far as security is concerned. But yeah, that was, it has been a heck of a year, and not in a good way. It does not look great for Republicans in 2026. Even though that Doge was, a lot of people liked getting rid of government inefficiencies, there have been a bunch of people that have been negatively affected by that. So even though that was good at the first, a lot of people that's like, oh, hey, this is actually costing jobs, and not a lot of replacements have been done yet. Securing the borders, people seem to, especially in the southern states, seem to really like that. But then you have some mistakes where you see like these old people getting tackled by ICE, and it's like, okay, the middle really does not like that. It's like, okay, the left is always going to hate Trump, and the far left is always going to hate Trump, and the far right is always going to love Trump, like regardless of what he does, right? but how Trump won was the middle, and a lot of the stuff that's been happening recently, like again, this is like one out of the 10,000 videos and instances of people recording ICE encounters, but you see ICE like taking away and again, a lot of what ICE does to take away violent criminals, and that's great. But you have ICE taking away these like people that have been here for like since the Bush administration because they wanted cheap labor, and they haven't done anything wrong, or they take a look at and they tackle this like 72-year-old dude who's just like he got like his hip broken and now he's suing, and it's like, ICE, you did not need to do that. Like that is not popular for middle of the road voters, and it's not looking great right now for Republicans in 2026 in the midterms next year. So Trump has to do a couple of things if he wants to maintain control in the Senate, and he wants to have I mean the governorship that's going on. I forget which states' governors are up for election or re-election this year. But yeah, you have some. He has some work he's got to do if he wants to have a good 2026. And right now, it's not it. He's fallen in popularity quite a lot. Trump hadn't ever found out in tariffs in the first place. Some of us wouldn't be celebrating. Oh, not you calling it a story, boy. Oh my god. Oh, I have to text someone real quick. Not you calling him a soy boy. I don't know why this auto-corrected to spy boy. I'm gonna just take a picture of this. I had to take a pic of that. Meow, meow, meow. Mr. MC1 reposted this stream. Thank you, Mr. MC1. Junebug says agreed. Penguin S2M says, do you think the tariff dip was the last big dip? Define big, because you because the it's all good. Red Bull. If you, I think there'll be multiple dips of over 10%, meaning that when we get back up to 120, I think we can go back down to 108. When we go up eventually to 150, I think we can fall back under 135. When we go to 180, we might go back under 160. When we go to 250K, we might have another 10% dip back to 220. Well, 225, but under that 220. So I think there'll be multiple 10% dips, but if that's not a big dip, I mean that's part of the course in crypto. If you're talking about like big 30% dips, we've had two of those already, I think, right? Like we had it go from like 109 to like 74 from like January, like April, give or take. We've had some big dips. Is this the last big one? I don't know. I wish I could tell you. I would like to think that it is, and we just on a rocket ship to the moon from here, but probably not. There's probably going to be multiple 10% dips in this. What's your edition size? Price prediction on the turtles drop? What I want is there to be like 500 of each at $20 each. What would even that come out to? Yeah, 500 each, $20 each, be 40K. I think that would be great. Heck, even if they wanted to do 1,000 each at $20 each, I think that would be great. Make it 80. If they do like 2,000 each at 50, bro, that might be too much, but we'll see. Hey, what's up, Mr. MC1? How you doing, fam? Godlegen says, we might have had the SEC ETF approvals had the government been open. This is hurting. Yeah, the government shutting down is not good. We have I think part of the reason the government's staying unopened is because Thomas Massie has the votes to. He's got the votes to release the Epstein files, which we all want, but both Democrats and Republicans, the first thing they'd agree on ever is like, yeah, let's not let this come out. So until they whip some of those votes to say no for the Epstein files, the government's probably going to say shut down. They're probably going to do, I don't know, 1,000 each at $50. I could picture them doing 1,000 editions each at $50, unless they do like, yeah, it's the secret rares 300 each, but the common is going to be like 2,000 each, $50. I really hope they don't do that. Mr. MC1 hi all, what's going on, Mr. MC1? How's it going? Numo says, do you indulge in memes at all? If you're talking about just like memes like to doom scroll and haha, yeah, I love memes. Memes are great. If you're talking about for investments, not really. Shiro the cat, I talk about a lot. One because they pay me, but two because if I'm going to bet on anything, they have revenues. They're going to be able to, they have a bigger community than daCat. They have like a bigger community, like active, like it's an insane amount of how many active people they have on their Telegram, on their X account. It's not as big as VeVe, but it's big. They will do well in a bull market. For daCat, it started off as kind of a meme, but now it's my IP, and this is going to be. We'll be at New York Comic Con next year, and we're gonna have a good booth. We're gonna have. But once people read it, we're probably gonna give some stuff out for free next year. Once people read it, and again, I've read the Gargoyles thing that sold out on Wednesday. Gargoyles and Fantastic Four. It was a good read. It was fun, and I'm glad I read it. And it had Tony Stark in there. I was like, that's cool too. You know what? This is fun. I'm glad I read it. To me, it was worth the $8, even though you can read it now for like $2. You can get the uncommon. And again, it sold out. daCat is so much better than that. Like the daCat comic is leagues better than the Gargoyles and Fantastic Four crossover. It just is. The story's better. It's funnier. The only thing you're missing is like, okay, yeah, we don't have Iron Man in there, and Gargoyles is a fan favorite IP, and Fantastic Four is Marvel's first fan. Like, yeah, it's cool. It's dope. But the actual comic, the story is just better. It's and it's not even close. It's not even like, well, it depends on how you read it, and it depends. No, this is not even close. And I'm not gonna lie, the art. Let's go to the artwork. Go to the artwork. The artwork is on par, if not better. Like I let's go to my comics. Fantastic Four. I'm gonna read the comic. Right meow. If I could turn back time. All right, let's go to like a good page here. Okay, this is a good page. We're gargoyles, but I get like this is good art. Like this is, Demono talking to Sue Storm, and then you have Sue Storm, Johnny Blaze, and the Thing, and then you have more gargoyles over here. Like, yeah, it's cool. You see him using his powers to do the extended shake. That's dope. The artwork in daCat is like, look at that. I know it's kind of hard to tell because of but like straight up, I'm gonna. Okay, good. I can screenshot here. I'm gonna go in and send these to my daCat whale family over here. I just have to wait for them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's one more. Come on, waiting for one more. There we go. Our artwork is better than the most recent Marvel X Gargoyles crossover. Like it is. Our artwork is just better. The story, like we outclass it and so again, daCat might have started as a meme. It's not anymore. And we've already had insane offers like for the IP. Like this is I can't wait. We're gonna go and give physical copies to, I think, Sleeping Comics, Comics and Crypto. Is anyone that's going to be able to talk about it and people will listen to it. Like and I've already told Sleeping, like, hey, listen, if you think it sucks, like I want your honest opinion. I don't want any favors. I want your honest opinion as a comic book guy. Like no holds barred. Like if you like certain things, praise it. If you dislike certain things, like, hey, this was actually like some of this is good, but this part is actually trash, and here's why. Tell us. And same thing. I really have to talk to Comics and Crypto again because he's just gonna say it's great. So I have to be like, bro, I need your honest opinion on this, and it's gonna be the finished product too. Look at it. I look at it as unbiased as possible, and this is why. This is why Devil Kyle said that he wants to go and join the whale chat. This is why you have like it's that song from Aristocats. Everybody wants to be a cat. Everybody wants to be in the cat whale chat. All right, where was I? Tariff dip, pile. Okay. Mr. Armstrong, Las Vegas, 5 years of VeVe is going to be amazing. See you all there. Mr. Armstrong, I can't wait to see you and squeeze you. And I might oh, hang on one second, guys. I gotta give me 1 second. I might. I love this game. Oh God. All right. I just had to look at something. Also, if people do go on and smash that like button, it's a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. Thanks, guys. That'd be great. I missed it. Just yay. Oh, best distraction. Anyway, Ben in Korea, thanks for being a member. Says, wish I could make it. I know not all my fam can make it. I want people to go in and I want to tackle them in the streets. I want to go in and have them get that bread. Also, F-ICE and Krusty no. We need migrant workers in the agricultural sector. Again, they were they started to get let in under Bush because they wanted cheap labor. And then Obama actually had more deportations than Trump has. Clinton had, I think, a couple 100,000 per year. Obama had like up to 400. Obama, his last year in office, deported like 900,000 people. And then Trump had X amount of deportations his first term. Biden had like no deport. He just freaking let in everyone. So Trump has had, I think he's up to like 200,000 deportations this year, which is not as much as Obama has had. So it's just being a lot more politicized now. But yeah, thoughts on that is they were let in originally under Bush because they wanted cheap labor, jobs that Americans didn't want. But that was a different time. Now you have like back in the early 2000s, for me, bro, $7 an hour at my first job, I was Oprah rich. Why? Because I was 14, and $7 an hour in 2004 was amazing for a 14-year-old, right? Um, I remember making money. Again, just as a 14, like that was dope. Um, Especially that overtime in that summer. Um, but now it's like a different thing. Like you have these $20 an hour jobs, and the jobs don't really. The job isn't worth that much. And for any job, you don't get paid what you're worth, whether too much or too little. You really just get paid what the job is worth, what the position is worth, and how much you can negotiate. So again, it's a different time now, and you kind of want those jobs going to Americans. That being said, I don't think Pablo at my local BJ's is filling the streets with crack cocaine. I think Pablo from BJ's is fine. But again, do you want those jobs going to Americans? Yeah, it's probably better you do that. But yeah, it's hard because there are a lot of people that are violent criminals and they should never be here again. But how many of these people that they're deporting are just like, yeah, no, that's Maria, who's a mom of these 3 kids, and she came over 20 years ago, and the kids, like, she hasn't, aside from coming in technically illegally, she hasn't really done anything wrong in 20 years. Like, so I made a TikTok a couple months ago saying Trump might deport me because uh, I wasn't born here. I was born in Peru, and I know another person that was not born here. And granted, I've been here since the '90s, and he's been here longer than I have. And he's like, bro, I think we need to like look at other options. And I was like, no, I think we're fine. It's I served in the military, and he's been a business owner. He's been here longer than me. I think mostly it, it's probably fine, but yeah, I wish that a couple of these people that have had some, and again, to make an omelet, you have to break a few eggs. Um, it's probably going as good as it can. I wish there would be less heartache and less heartbreak and less, whatever. Also, looking bad for Republican 2026 with a good times roll. Hashtag blue wave. We could tell that say amen for sin is major. I should introduce you to my friend Greg. He is super Democrat. We love Greg. He's been on the podcast a couple times. I'll let me see if I can. 100%. Also, I gotta meow 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 to my meow 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 meows meow 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 campaign meow 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 manager. Yeah. Golden Gin says, who can eat more hot dogs? Joey Chestnut, Bell Anderson. I'm gonna say Joey Chestnut. We'll Google. We'll put up a ton of money on that. Yeah, I would say Joey Chestnut can beat anyone at eating hot dogs. If I say so myself. Any of the penny black or blue stamps? I don't. I might have actually some of the commons that I might have gotten for like $1, but I don't have like any of the secret rare, any that really mean anything. Ande, connect to the live. I can't today. I have a bunch of stuff I have to go that I still haven't gone over yet. Yay. Bought a couple amazing collectibles. Oh, you got to tell me about that. Tell me about it. Tell me. You may what sleep in comics in my collectibles opinion on your comic. Yeah, 100% gonna go to sleep. Actually, I haven't. My collectibles though, since he's kind of like one of the faces of the company and everyone knows, it's like I don't know if I have to talk to him because I don't know if I want to put him in that position where it's like, hey, you work for the company, you might be biased on this, and I just don't want to put him in that position. But if he says like, yeah, no, I could as Aaron, not my, or as my collectibles, not as someone that works for me, but as someone that loves comics, I can give this review. Yeah, if he says he can do it, I'll 100% we'll get him to get that bread. Oh, speak of the devil, and du shall appear. My collectible YouTube is Happy Sunday, Randy. Happy Sunday, Mr. MC. It was great seeing you at New York. It was great getting that bread. Ande reposted the stream. Got my tickets for Decon. Looking forward to checking out the F1 track. Oh, they're there every year, and traffic sucks when they're there. Sucks. Why are my messages being shown? I did show. It just took me a while to get to them. And that was 9 minutes ago, so it's not all that bad. But yeah, it takes me a while to get to the comments because I have other stuff going on. Yes, I'm 100% seeing them right now. I hope you are there. Hey, there's nothing else I can say. Sam Menford says, damn, my first job at 16 was $8.25. You're like 9 years older than me. Fuck these low ass wages regardless. Yeah. So that was oh god, that was 2015 for you? Oh my god, yeah. Yeah, 2015, damn. 825. Well, I was also in Long Island, New York, and so minimum wage when I first started working was like 5.25. So I was actually making, more than minimum wage, which was really nice. Well, it was in the medical field, it was an animal hospital, so I had a little bit more money to burn, and I did a lot of work. I busted my butt there, but it was it wasn't like a fast food job. It was a little more important, dealing with the lives of animals. I would love to meet Greg, watch those episodes. Aw, amazing. Thank you. Far too kind. He's a cool dude. He doesn't really come to Ohio that much, but yeah. I forget some of y'all be young AF. They both are comic experts. Agreed. Penguin saying, when is Vegas? Vegas is the 14th, 15th, and 16th, I believe. It is the 14th, 15th, 16th. I'm going to go to Arizona on the 12th. I'm going to hang out with a friend, and we're going to hang out for the day. You've seen her. She was Jessica Meowingtons. She was on the podcast like 2 episodes ago. Awesome chick, known her for years, and she just moved to Arizona, so we're gonna go pal around for the day. Gonna spend and then the next morning I'm gonna go drive to Vegas with Fam Bam, and then we're gonna meet up with Tammy, Sparky, Crypto Rain, his wife Raxel. Trying to think who else is going. Obviously, you have Packaging Dude and his wife. You have Mr. MC1. That'll be there. You have the whole VeVe crew there. OMI Homies, Max and Janie. You have VeVe Magic. MC Foster, Mark Quinn will be there. Just Rita Baby and Dog Boy. You're gonna have a lot of really awesome people. Dr. Stuff, Crypto Cosmo. I can't wait to see my friendos. My collectibles got me into many things that have AF-15 covers. Love it. Yeah, he's a good dude. He's a good egg. I'm gonna pull what you did. Okay, and give me a tab when I get the card. Oh god, I'm down. Maybe not the first night. That was a lot of fun. Say Amen for Sin visited me in New York in 2019. So this is 6 years ago. God, you were 20. I was 28, and yeah, it was that was a fun time. So I take Say Amen for Sin to one, just I had like a local grocery store to get food and whatnot. Wound up meeting. So I lived with my friend Mark at the time, and he's the one where I told y'all about. I basically like adopted his daughter Lauren, and I would show her good video games, good music, take her out Taco Bell, sushi. It was my chance to like being a dad without really having to be a dad. I didn't have to do no disciplining with my kid. But they were like pretty close in age, so they got along really well. So I take both of them along with my friend Ty and Ty's been on the podcast a couple times too. And Ty likes to be like the biggest person in the room because he's like 6'5". He's a beast. And then Sayamen for Sin shows up with her tall ass. She's like 6'3". And Ty's like, whoa, you're tall. And we go to, it's like a Dave and Buster's type place in this mall where it's a lot of video games. There's like bowling, there's karaoke. We just have a great time, and it was fun. That was a good weekend. We had good times. Yeah, Collector's got to have the AF-15. All right, very good. All right, we have I still have a bunch of news to go over. Where are we at here? Shiro Nico says 100 plushies down, $100 down. Shiro's in a generous mood. We've already passed 100 plushies claimed, so it's time to celebrate. The new entry threshold for the plushie giveaway is now $150, down from $250. Only 100 plushies left. Once they're gone forever. Keep the momentum rolling. Next stop is 200 happy Shiro owners. Who's grabbing the next one? What do we have here? This is yesterday. Oh, my toes so far away. The cat, Dr. B Soccer says, finally pulled the trigger on these two beauties this morning. It's a gold and silver VeVe logo and an Akomi Secret Rare logo. That's like $7,000 right there, maybe $8,000. What are the prices of these? We're gonna go to the market and we're gonna go to VeVe Gold. Excuse me. The VeVe Gold logo, I think, is like it's 5,800. Shit. Okay, what's the Akomi Secret Rare logo? That's 2,100. So that is $6,900. Everyone comment nice down below for the 69, and this dude got him. Good for him. Minimum wage for me was $5.25 too at 18. I got a job at a nursing home. I feel like a job at a nursing home should pay more than minimum wage. Anyway, in Bed-Stuy, making $13 an hour. Oh, in 2002, bro, you were, oh my God. Yeah, that was, ooh, chef's kiss, bro. You were rich. You were Oprah rich, bro. 18 in 2002. So you were born in 84. 80s baby. 41 now. What was it like turning 40? What was it like being an adult in 2002? I was only mostly 11. I was turned 12 in late 2002. But then, yeah, wild times. Wild thing. You make my heart say. Fairly Odd Parents to Mark Kidlink. Fairly Odd Parent to Mark Kidlink. Yeah. Fairly Odd Parents. But yeah, that was a good one. We had fun. Threw Ty off his game with all these legs. That's true. I think if I remember, you have a decent torso too. Like, it's not like, have you ever seen like the chicks with the all leg and it's like this torso and their torso is like this big? I feel like you're tall in both legs and torso. More memes. SEC Chair Paul Atkins says the U.S. is a decade behind on crypto and catching up is job one for the agency. My back. My other back. 30-year-old me. Oh God. Is it just us, or is breaking records becoming a weekly trend? We could get used to this, says Akomi, talking about their new burns that are high. 2.7 million. OMI was burned. When was this? 2 days ago. World of Warcraft their housing is almost live. Basically, they had an open beta, and apparently VeVe should take some notes, especially on how neighborhoods and building customization. For anyone that's played WoW, they've had a metaverse for like 15 years. So World of Warcraft has a special place in my heart because back in the late 2000s, there was this chick, I forget her name, but she was like really, really into World of Warcraft. And unfortunately, she had passed away in real life. I don't remember from what. But they had a funeral for her in game, and they're like, okay, guys, let's be really cool here. No weapons, no armor. We just go in. They put her avatar in the game next to this lake, and it's like, let's just one by one just say goodbye, say our piece. Let's just be really chill. And everyone agreed. They're like, okay, let's go. And for a minute, it was like really beautiful. And then one clan just comes in and destroys them all. And the first person they kill was her. It was the rudest thing I've ever seen. And it went down in MMO history. Like just YouTube WoW funeral. I'm sure it's got millions of views. And it's they gained so many levels. It was a sight to be seen. And nobody could do anything. There's no weapons, no armor, no nothing. Um anyway, so World of Warcraft, they'll always have a special place in my heart. But supposedly in that, everyone kind of gets a house, and they have like millions of active users there supposedly. So it'll be an interesting case study of what are people going to do with it. How are certain houses going to go on the secondary market? You buy extra stuff, can you go on extra quests? And again, World of Warcraft, I remember in 2016 seeing the World of Warcraft movie. I was deployed and there wasn't much to do. I went to the gym and that's it. I ate and went to the gym, and that was my life. But every now and then, like I saw Deadpool, I saw Suicide Squad, and I saw World of Warcraft. Those are the movies that I saw. That was great. Um, Thank you. God. My friend says she was 2 or 3 in 2002. Goddamn. Thank you. A long torso too. Yeah. That makes me feel really old when someone was that young in 2002. Oh! Anyway, World of Warcraft makes like, I don't know, 80, $100 million a month just from their subscription model, not including the cosmetics and other stuff that they make. They're making well into the 9 figures each month, which is insane. So if VeVe were to ever go to a subscription model, like say, hey, let me pay $20 a month and then give me, these 5 comics that I want to buy every month. And if they use them, great. If they don't, no big deal. It doesn't roll over. But yeah, $20 a month. That I think that's all it would take, and then they could have a lot of recurring revenue each month. Minimum wage was $7 in Hawaii in like '94. It's because Hawaii is expensive as heck. I don't think I could ever live in Hawaii for that reason. Yep, 84. Turtle Gal was a great podcast earlier today. It seems like Michelle would be great help to spread VVDMNT panel. I know. I gotta ask her about it. Later. She seems so awesome. I can't Turtle Golf, if you haven't seen, I'm gonna see her in December, but I should really talk to her about the affiliate program because I think she'd be perfect. I could go to MC and be like, hey, is this something that we can like fast track for her, to see if she can do that? Because then, yeah, she might make some money too. I don't know who's in charge of it, but I'll talk to MC about it. Are you okay? Yeah, MC's run the all right. Actually, let me shoot. Okay. Hey, there's Chubby Cat. There's me. And I'll go to MC, say this is the biggest TMNT fan in the world. Just interviewed her today. Can we get her enrolled into the affiliate program? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. Salmon says, hey, I remember seeing 9/11 in my grandparents' living room. I guess you can, because, well, you were 2 and hippocampus starts developing at 18 months, so, yeah, I guess it's possible. Um, I remember seeing it in school. Um, the teacher that we had at the time, I still remember her name. I won't say it here just in case, but, um, the principal comes in and she whispers something to the teacher, and we didn't care. It was like, "Oh, whatever." As soon as the principal leaves, she goes to the teacher across the hall, says, "Hey, watch my class for a second." And they're like, "Okay, cool." She goes to the library. She comes back with the TV on wheels. We're like, "Oh!" And she's like, "Nope, nope. This is not one of those things. This is not a fun thing. You're gonna see history." We're like, "What? History?" She's like, and as she's like unwrapping the wire and about to plug it in, she's saying that the administration doesn't think that you could handle this news, and they told me not to tell you. But I have tenure, and she was from China. She's like, I come from a country where the government doesn't tell their citizens everything, and that's not happening here. And she turns on the TV and she's just like, behold. Um, yeah. And us at the ripe old age of 10, 11 years old, were watching people jump from it was, yeah, that was insane. That was a that was a wild time, and I don't think we really processed that for a while. Dude, the early 2000s was a wasteland of just barbaricness for the internet, and the adults that tried to raise us had zero idea of what a computer was and what an internet message board was. And I remember seeing people get decapitated, and it was wild. I was like, whoa. I remember our 6th grade social studies teacher saying, like, hey, listen, and he was cool. He was a good dude, and he was a real one. Like he was a real man. Wasn't worried about his job. He just wanted genuinely the best for us. And he's like, hey guys, listen, I'm gonna level with you. Like there's this video that I'm sure you've heard that's going around about decapitation, and you guys might be curious. As I listen, I was curious too. I saw it, and I'm sorry I did. I didn't want to. I just I had to see it, and my curiosity got the better of me. And if I could undo what I saw, I would. Man tried to warn us. He tried to warn us not to view it. Did we listen? No. I was over my friend Justin's house the next day watching that decapitation video, and yeah, it's pretty horrible. Um, because again, parents are just like, "What's an internet? What's a you know?" I still remember my friend's stepdad. We it was like the same year. It was like 2 weeks later, and so this is like 2002. It might have been, yeah, it was 2002, maybe like 2003. And he's just like, he comes in, and so we were watching porn, because when you're like 11, 12 years old, like, what else are you going to Google, right? There wasn't that many websites on there. And we're on like this, I don't know, I think he found it for like his little sister. He found like this princess website where you had these like fun mini games. I was like, oh, this is pretty dope. I don't know what it was, but it was like, oh, these mini games are actually pretty fun. So like when coming up the stairs, it's like, quick, change it to the princess mini game thing. And then he comes in saying like, hey guys, I'm ordering pizza. You want anything? And we're like, yeah. And then he sees like computer screen. He's like, oh, what are you guys doing? It's like, oh, we're playing these mini games. Like, that's great. The internet wasn't such a good place, like a couple years ago. Glad they cleaned that up. We never had the heart to tell him that, like, bro, it's just got so much worse. Um, yeah, that was wild times. Anyway, let's continue on. Apparently pecan sauce is straight fire. Straight. Ooh, cider. Remember PS10. Hey, why do I have these notifications when you're not giving me notifications? Okay, it doesn't matter. We'll continue on. I can't go over that. Can't go over that. 1 billion USDT was minted yesterday at 4:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. David Yu has requoted Watt Mammoth saying, "Congrats, Sean from Comics and Crypto, for acquiring the 1 of 1 penny blue." David Yu says, "Many congratulations. This 1 of 1 comes with an extremely rare example of the 1842D penny blue physical stamp. The physical production of this 2D stamp was produced in much smaller quantity than the penny black and was only in circulation for a short period before its design was changed." Barron Trump reportedly has now an estimated net worth of 150 million at the age of 19, as per Forbes. Watt Mammoth is talking about Panini blockchain, talking about Shohei Ohtani, who is being compared to Babe Ruth because his stats are just through the freaking roof. It's insane. This dude is not human. And when Watt Mammoth talks about Panini blockchain, David, you said GOAT. Now, he probably said GOAT for Ohtani because he is, but I don't know if he's excited about Panini or blockchain. It's an uncommon. Are we getting into sports? What does David mean here? What can he mean? Where does he belong? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Also, rhetorical question here. But how do you spell tonight? Like real quick, how do you spell tonight? Like tonight, gonna fall for you over again. You know, like how do you spell the word tonight? I was rewatching an episode of Kyle XY, and I see on the board says like dinner 7 p.m. tonight, and tonight is spelled TONITE, and I was like, don't you spell it IGHT? And I thought I was having a stroke. I thought like, is that a joke? Is that like, so I Googled it. I was like, tonight versus tonight. And apparently the main difference between tonight, TONITE, and tonight, IGHT, is that tonight, TONITE, is a colloquial or informal way of spelling the word tonight, GHT, while the GHT version is the standard or more formal way of spelling. I don't ever remember tonight ever be spelt ever with an ITE. It was always IGHT, which apparently is the formal way of spelling the word. That threw me for a loop, a big loop. So a comment down below if this is a Mandela effect thing or not, because yeah. Sorry, I keep sending me memes. These memes are great. Courtney Ryan says, "Is there a first appearance NFT, or is VeVe going to be the first for TMNT?" If you want to be technical, the blockchain wax, which nobody uses or likes, they technically have the first TMNT NFTs. So if you want to get them on a dead chain that nobody uses, and it's probably not going to be worth anything ever, you can get them for probably pennies. But for, okay, copy. Yeah, thank you. We love my collectibles. I'm going to go to the affiliate site. Copy. I'll give that to her tonight. Yeah, right. Okay, so yeah, okay. I can't. We'll talk to her about it tomorrow. I'll be holding you tight, and there's nowhere in the world I'd rather be than here in my room, dreaming about you and me. Sorry. Affiliate assets will be uploaded in a few days, and the bigger. Give me 1 second. Sweet. I almost read something out loud that I should not have. Yum. Sam Altcoin says, Tom Lee on Fortune, there's still an exponential opportunity in owning Ethereum over Bitcoin. Lee's math, $60,000 Ethereum. Ethereum leads with billions in tokenized assets today, and Kathy Wood says tokenization grows to quadrillions. I love my Debbie. Michael Bauman has bought 467 blind boxes in an attempt to reach that 1 of 1, which is insane. That man is too powerful. Now, granted, he got 7 secret rares, so he's kind of in the money, but you know, bro, look at the steak, look at those eggs, look at that guac. Ignore the words. But oh god, that looks so good. The cat. Oh, the positions, animations on OG, the color palettes. Yep. Seemed to spelt that way when texting was expensive and had a character limit. Oh yeah, same. Okay, so back in the day, when you had like anytime minutes and you had to, I remember getting Verizon back in the day because Verizon, like a bunch of my friends had Verizon, and you wanted to call each other. Like Verizon to Verizon was free. You had to pay to talk to people. That was wild. That was a wasteland of near extinction. Like how people paid money to talk to their friend. Now, nights and weekends were free. Anytime after 7 or 9 o'clock, you could call people for free. And weekends were free. But if you wanted to call someone at 2 in the afternoon, you best do it in like 30 seconds because you only got so many minutes per month. And if you went over that and you got a big bill, you're cooked, right? You're cooked. You couldn't do it. It was insane. So yeah, that was wild times. And texting, same thing again. I never texted when I was younger. Like I didn't get my first phone until I was 15. Because I didn't have parents that would pay for it. So I just eventually paid for it myself. But yeah, that was I didn't have, like, my first cell phone was an LG, and then that was like okay. But then everyone had the Razor. I was like, I want a Razor. So I got a Razor and it was dope. And then everyone had those like flip phones, and I didn't really like those. I liked my Razor. The Razor was cool, yo. And then I got, I think, smartphones ever since. Who dis? Is that you? Fuck. Damn. Give me 1 sec. I have to see this answer before I go in and continue on with the show, because there's a couple more things of news to go over. But Jesus. Um okay, anyway, let's try to move on here. After a client visit in the US, this client told me that he's currently negotiating a deal with the US Stock Exchange to run the exchange on a blockchain. And when you think about it, with blockchain, you can buy and trade securities directly on the platform. There's an order book, a real trading system, a proper exchange can be built with integrated settlement and delivery and no intermediaries involved. Costs go down, and we're looking at a model that seems completely disruptive. And I wonder if this could end up making today's stock market obsolete. End quote. That was Anne Marshall. Who does that sound like? Sounds like a amazing partnership. Can't go over that just yet, or can I? Devo Kyle went and bought $445 worth of daCat last night. Shout out to him. More than 10% of the way to being a whale. I don't know why there's this thing on Facebook. It's a page that says, I hate Stuart Little. And it says, imagine throwing Stuart Little into the oven and putting it on the maximum heat. Now, I haven't seen this movie. I might have seen it when it first came out 20-something years ago. But oh my God, Jesus. Good times. Good times. Raichu, Kitty, I've won it, but what cost? I'll go over that at some other point. And that at some other point. Okay, we have breaking news from both photos. This is Ash Crypto Real. Technically this morning said Japan is considering revising regulations to let banks hold and trade Bitcoin. All right. I think that'll be it for me today. So I have to go and I'm gonna go in and see if I can get this bread. And I will. Everyone, I will catch you all later. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. Oh, shit. Oh,